And we are back. Part two with some bars.
All right,
All right. Damn, yo. I always get wrapped up in good conversation, man.
bro. I'm addicted to these, bro. Like that's why I love these type of like just conversations, just because like I said, bro, iron sharpens iron. Like you only you enjoy like minded individuals just because like y'all know y'all think alike, or y'all on the same path to like just of development and growth. So that's I love it, bro. I'm addicted to these type of conversations.
Absolutely. So where we leave off at?
We was talking about.
Protecting energy,
Yep.
having compassion for people who are just, not aware that them emotionally dumping on you is not okay,
Yep.
right? And just, understanding that there's a difference between somebody who is just, having a tough time and you being that person for them. Because I feel like there's something in the world that you can only do. There's something that only I can do,
Yep.
right? It takes the right person to step in to be able to do something that nobody else could do. And then there's a difference between somebody that's just always trying to steal your energy. I don't have time for those.
That's a fact. Energy drainers, bro. Energy drainers, bro.
Yeah, I could do about another 20 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna start my unwinding process, my
But
meditation, things like that. So what
but
else you got? What else you got for me?
I was gonna say, what are some while you're on this like on a journey of like development, what is your, I would say, what are the two top components for you, or top three components like in this journey? Like what is important versus what is like what is most important for you on this journey versus like I guess just picking three things that's important.
On the journey of becoming the best version of myself,
Yeah.
self-image is one. Belief,
Mm,
you know, we don't believe we can do something, it's not going to happen.
that's a fact.
And belief on an an emotional level, not a conscious thinking level.
Okay.
Um, having faith,
Mm, that's that's
you know,
that's that's top.
it's not just it's a lot of things, man. Persistence, right? Being able to persist no matter what. We know the journey is not going to be easy.
Yep.
Knowing how to make committed decisions,
Mm.
and that was like a big shift for me, learning how to make decisions.
You said so. Just really learning how to commit to something.
Yeah. Were you taught how to make decisions?
Mm. I was so. I wouldn't say I was taught how to make decisions, but I was taught how to critically think. Like just thinking about things, like actually developing like just the ways to think about things. Like so when I am making decisions, like I was taught to from my dad to observe everything, like just so like how is it gonna, how are you, what are you gonna, what is it gonna add to you, how is it gonna add to you, what things will it change for you, what can you do to grow as a person when you're in this position, whatever, like whatever decision it is. I was just kind of taught how to critically think about it, like, or how it could be the best possible decision for me.
That's powerful. I also believe having a burning desire is important also.
Mm,
You need to have something keeping you fueled up every
that's
day.
a fact. That's a fact.
As we know, the challenges are going to come. If we're seeking growth, the growth is going to come, but it's going to come with challenges, right?
Yep.
Or if we just understand that those challenges are simply opportunities to give us what we said we wanted, you know?
That's a fact.
There's so many levels, man. Confidence, you got to be confident. And you got to maintain that vibration.
Yep.
because it's going to be tough. There's so many things happening around us, right? Most of us are dominated by what we hear, see, smell, taste, and touch.
All the senses, that's a fact.
And if you don't learn to live beyond your senses, nothing in your life is going to change.
Mm. So how do you do that?
Well, you have to develop what's called your higher mental faculties, imagination.
Mm.
Most of us are using our imagination for the wrong things. They're imagining the scenario that they don't want.
Yep.
Have you ever heard somebody say, I'm just going to imagine the worst possible scenario so that when it happens, you know,
I
I'm not
can prepare for it.
exactly. I used to be like that. I used
That's
to do that too.
they like prepare for the worst, and then so when it happened, it don't hurt as much. Well, why not do it? You could do the same thing on the opposite end. That's a fact, though.
You can do the same thing on the opposite end.
That's a fact.
And yeah, I mean, I just started learning about this year,
That's why they
tapping
say.
into our higher mental faculties.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why they say, like, when you're just talking about that, the same notion is like it's either you thinking the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. Which one? Like, how are you looking at it? Like, it just depends on your perspective of it. Like, if you're negative, if negativity mostly adds to, or you're filled with mostly negativity, you're probably gonna look at the glass as being half empty. But if you're a positive thinking person, or on the other side of that, you're probably thinking that the glass is half full. Like, it's just depending on who you asking at the time.
You know what's crazy is like most of us are programmed to think negatively anyway.
Yeah.
So if we're programmed to think that way, more than likely we feel that way.
Mm,
And so telling somebody to just think positively is not the answer. They literally have to change their perception.
that's a fact.
You know, Wayne Dyer says when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change.
That's a fact.
You know? And so it takes not allowing what you see, because the truth is not always in the appearance of things.
Yeah.
And it comes down to just being aware of who you are. You know, it's hard to be yourself if you don't know yourself.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And so it's not easy. Look, I'm telling you right now, if I didn't have a mentor, I wouldn't be on this live right now. Because I used to have a fear of being seen.
Mm.
And that started in childhood.
I'm kind of going. That's crazy that because I'm kind of going through that right now. Like, I want to be. So my goal, I want to be like I want to. I desire these things, right? Like what we're doing right now. I want to actually continuously doing that, and I want to actually build myself. Like when it comes down to like speaking, I want to be in rooms just speaking. I desire to be a motivational speaker. So like these are things I'm just trying to develop myself with. But that was a fear that I had to get over, a fear of being seen, like I like, or just like attracting energy, or like people watching me. Like sometimes, like I get scared. I'm scared of that sometimes, just based upon like I don't want to be. I'm not a flashy person, bro. So I never want to be put like seen and really put on a people, because once people see you, bro, like they put you on a pedestal, and I don't even like that thought of having to live up to the image that other people imagine you to be now. Like I still just want to maintain who I am as a person. And that's one thing I always feared. Like when it came down to public speaking, like once you create the confidence to actually step out and speak, bro, people are going to put you in this space where that they just they think you to be perfect now. Like, bro, I will never be perfect. As long as I'm human, I will never be perfect. So that's like that fear always came from that thought.
So how are you navigating through that now?
How I'm just trying to push myself to continuously posting content. I'm trying to get like just trying to be open into doing things like this more often. Just really facing my fears, bro. Like they say, you can only stop being fearful of things once you start exposing yourself to the fears that you have.
Very, very good. Yeah, so what it sounds like is you changed your perception of what being seen would mean.
Yep.
You know, and again, it's hard to change something that you're not aware of.
That's
I
a
had no idea I had this fear of being seen. Where it came from, something that happened early in my childhood.
mm.
And how do I become aware of it? Because I was seeking it. You know, you asked me what made me change. I was seeking it.
You
When
was
I
seeking,
really,
you was seeking to be seen.
no, I was seeking to find out what was holding me back.
Okay. Okay.
Because when you look at your life, our life is telling us what's really going on inside. And so when you look at this area and like, okay, well, why is this area not working out the way that I would like? For me, I just ask questions. What's holding me back?
That's a fact.
Why don't I believe that I can have this particular thing or whatever it is? And then when you wait
Right.
for the answer, like I tell people, you just got to be prepared to do something about it.
Hmm.
Because what's the point of being aware of what you need to work on and then just putting it to the side?
That's a fact.
And so when I realized that's what it was for me, I was like, well, I need to do the opposite of fearing being seen, and I need to put myself out there.
That's all you can do.
That's the only way.
That's a
And for
fact.
a long time, like I said, I thought the time that I would let go by would just automatically make it easier. It's not easy. Every day is a constant battle because that old part of me wants to pull me back to where I've always been.
That's a fact, bro. I was just like, I was just I was good. Like even though like we talked about like getting on live, like bro, before I got on here, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of nervous. But then once I started getting into it, I'm like, bro, this ain't that bad. And that's literally how all the experiences is. That's how like once you start actually overcoming your fears, you realize that it ain't that bad. Like so, all these thoughts in your head, you just convinced yourself that that was a real. They say, I heard something powerful. They said fear and faith both it both makes you believe in something that you can't see. It's just
Yep.
whatever side you want to be on. Like whatever side you want to be on. Which way you want to be fearful or you want to be faithful. Like believe like
Back.
just it's just whatever side you want to be on. But they both require you to believe in something that you can't see.
Exactly. So
That's
why not believe then, right? Why not have faith?
mm. You
What's
said
up,
why not?
was that?
No, no, go ahead. My bad. I thought you was asking.
I was about to say something. But yeah, awareness, man. I'm always seeking to find out what story is being played.
Mm.
You know, because every time you're looking to do something that's uncomfortable, there's a story, there's a voice in your head that's like, well, you've never been like that. You know? Mike, you have a fear of being seen, like you're not this person. And if I listen to that voice, then I'll go back to being invisible.
Yep.
I'll go back to playing small.
Yep.
You know, at the end of the day, it's just a story.
Hmm.
And this story seems very real because it's, like I said, our mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and imagined. So to our minds, it feels like it's happening right now. That
Yep.
situation that happened to me as a child, it can feel like it's happening right now.
Yep.
And if I'm not aware of it, then it's going to make me behave just like that little boy.
That's a fact.
So I had to become aware of it, and then I made a decision, an irrevocable decision, which means no matter what, I'm going to face this fear. And I'm basically, you know, fighting against that conditioning.
Yeah.
The way we're programmed is so strong that if you're not paying attention, it will pull you right back to where you were.
Say that one more time, bro.
Our conditioning is so strong that if you're not paying attention, it will bring you right back to where you were.
That's a fact. That's
It
a
will
fact.
bring you right back.
Sir.
All of a sudden, when you start doubting yourself and having worries and fear, like worry and doubt, those are psychic diseases. Our higher self doesn't have worries and doubts.
That's a
Fear.
fact. Yep.
And so whenever I feel like that, number one, I gotta tune in and like, well, is this my feelings? Or did I absorb that from somebody else?
That's that. I'm not sure if you do, because I also like as I've been on this like spiritual journey, like what I connect with is just from like things that I've been raised from. Like, so I do like take my family was like grew up in a Christian background, so like it's things that they say in the Bible, like God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love and joy and a sound mind. Like these things that we like, this is not of God. Like God is love, like that's what God is, and God is everything with love, like where love is, and love you where you find love, you do not find fear.
Right. And so, yeah, it's like anytime that I catch myself feeling anything, I really tune in. Like, all right, well, whose feelings are these? They say we're not our thoughts.
You said we are not our thoughts.
They say that we're not our thoughts.
That's a fact.
You don't have to entertain every thought that comes through.
Yep. Because where is it actually coming from? It's either coming from things that you've seen, things that you heard, things that you felt. These are not you though. Like these are things that was projected out in the world, but it didn't come from you. It's just that it's in you now because you experienced it, or you seen it, or you heard it. You use your senses to get it, but it's not you.
Yep. So I had to learn to become a witness.
Mm.
So instead of saying, these are my thoughts, I became a witness. And that's what meditation taught me. Just witness the thoughts that are going on in my head. Instead of trying to like suppress them, put them away, I let everything come through. But then it's like, well, do I want to accept this or not?
Yep.
We have the ability to accept or reject anything that comes in.
Yep.
So when people try to emotionally dump on me, I reject everything that they're saying mentally. They don't know, but I don't want to accept what they're giving me.
That's a fact.
If somebody says you can't be successful, you can reject that idea. You don't want to accept that.
Yep.
People are constantly projecting all day.
Yep. That's a fact.
We have to reject any and everything that's not going to serve our highest good.
You talking, bro. You talking, bro.
That's one of the biggest things that I had to unlearn. I accepted everything that I was taught growing up because it was coming from people that I looked up to. Family.
You ain't had no other choice but to accept it.
No other choice. And so we're basically just living our lives based on what we were taught growing up.
That's a fact.
We're like children in adult bodies. And so like I spend a lot of time just going back to make sure that who I am today, how I think of myself truly resonates with my inner child. Because like I said, I didn't always feel seen or whatever. It's now my responsibility to make sure that he feels seen now.
Yep.
And acknowledged now. And this is not easy to do. It's very hard. But choose your heart. It's hard not living the life that you want to live.
Yep.
And it's hard putting in the work every single day.
So
it's got to be every single day.
You were just saying something about like your inner child. How important? First of all, like because like that's another topic. Like how powerful is even just still having that childlike mentality inside of not being a child. Like I know like we grow up and we experience things and learn new things, but how important is it to still have that energy about yourself?
It's everything, man. It's everything. For so long I didn't realize that I never really knew how to express myself because I didn't witness expression growing up.
That's a fact.
Besides anger, right? It was always like a negative thing.
Dude, I couldn't even express myself, bro. Like when I tried to, it was me talking back. I don't know.
Oh man, yeah, that too.
Nah, for real.
And it's like, what do you do? And so because of all of those things that I bottled up over the years, when I got older, it was very hard for me to express myself. Very hard for me to communicate what I needed.
Yep.
in relationships. So yeah, getting acknowledging your inner child and really, it's called reparenting, right? You basically become the parent to yourself. You become the parent to yourself that you never had growing up.
Mm, that's a
And
fact.
so because I never really knew how to express myself growing up, I had to really tap into that. You know, how do I experience joy?
Yep.
You know, how do I experience self-care? I've got to do all that for myself. And that process has taken me a few years also.
That's a fact.
And just forgiving yourself,
Mm,
forgiving that child, and just giving compassion to yourself.
that's true. I I know, like, so like when you a kid, bro, you don't look at yourself how the world looks at you yet, because you haven't really, your brain hasn't even developed to that point. So being a child, bro, you're not looking at how people think of you. You don't really care because you don't know. Like, but now that we grew up, like we take in all this energy and we try to fit in and fit into like how society wants you to be, and and even when you're not into that, like people look at you as being like, oh, they weird, oh, they crazy, oh, whatever they want to look at you as. But being a child is like you not really caring. Like, bro, I don't care what nobody think of me no more. Like, it's like I want to intentionally separate myself from, like, because I love being in this energy, like, of me just doing what I want to do. And once I find out that's wrong, then I will change the way I'm acting upon it. But like, when you're being a child, you experiencing, that's at its height. That's at its height. Like, you being open to experiencing new things, exploring new things. That's you being child. Like they say in the Bible, like be childlike. That's how, like, that was the notion of how God wants us to be. Be childlike. Explore new things, learn new things. Like, because when you're a child, that's when you all these senses is not fully developed, but you're still open to exploring. Like, most adults, they start, like, stop being childlike once they start experiencing things and getting hurt. They don't want to experience that hurt no more, so they're scared to explore. Like, you never supposed to be in that state when you're scared to explore, because that's when you put yourself in a state of not growing anymore. Like, where's the growth at? Like, if you're not experiencing this hurt, if you don't know what hurt feels like, how are you going to get to the other side of that? Like, you have to experience hurt or experience bad for you to even want better.
Absolutely. But you know, something I realized is that when you're a kid, you know, you spoke a lot about when you're a kid, you're not really caring about what people think. It's because when you're a kid, you're really tapped in.
Mm.
When we were kids, we were imagining stuff.
Imagination was at its all time.
And then all of a sudden we start learning all this doubt, fear, worry. Those are not natural.
Yeah,
Those are not our birthrights.
those was taught. That was taught through other people.
Exactly. And so now it's like getting back to that childlike, that imagination,
Yeah,
having that belief. You know, it was normal to have big dreams and all that when we were kids, but now if we were to tell people what we're trying to achieve, they would probably look at us like we're crazy. Not
right.
everybody. And
That's
that's
a
why
fact.
environment is so important.
That's a
But
fact.
that's why I don't tell the average person my goals, because they're gonna be too busy trying to figure out how it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I already know that the how is irrelevant. I just gotta say what I want. But yeah, all of these things are learned. And so when you ask me what did I have to unlearn, all of that stuff.
That's a fact.
You know, the fear, I've learned that fear doesn't go away. It's just when you are aware of why the fear is there, now you can navigate through it.
Mm.
Versus you don't know why it's there and you think that's a sign that you should not move forward. That's what I used to do. Anytime that you're acting out against how we're conditioned, you're going to feel fear. You're going to doubt yourself. But when
Yeah.
you are aware of why it's there, now you can smack it out the way a little bit. But it's still going to be there.
Yeah. That's a fact. I feel like, so, like, even so, yeah, like I was just saying, like, I feel like the only way you could actually get over that fear is like you putting yourself in. position to like really like expose yourself to it. Like once you have that fear in your head, like expose yourself to it, and you're gonna realize it's not that bad. Like it's like, bro, I'm not. It's not what I really put out to be in my mind. It's not really that. Like you literally have to experience or expose yourself to the things that you actually going through when it like you have to expose yourself to it. That's the only way you could like go past it or stop it from actually transcending into your life from it stopping you as a person. Like because all fear does is stop you from growing. That's all it does. Like that's all fear. Like they say growing up in church, like God is good. I feel like the notion of the devil was just the opposite side of that. It's everything that holds you back from being your higher self. Like, and that's fear. Like the notion of the devil is the notion of the devil is only things that hold you back from being your higher self, and that your higher self is everything that God called you to, created you to be. Like that's what you got put on this earth to do, to be your higher self. God don't want to see you in fear. He didn't create you to be like that. That's not how he created you. Like he said, he made us in his likeness and his image. That's everything good. So where did we start learning these? When did we start actually developing these fear tactics and things? These are all things that people implemented inside of us. These are not our thoughts. We are not our thoughts. That's what you were just saying. We are not our thoughts, because our thoughts will hold us back. Our thoughts could deceive us sometimes. Like it's just how you want. It's whatever thoughts you play into though. Like if you allow your thoughts to deceive you, it will.
Absolutely, man. You preaching. But it's been great talking to you. We definitely got to do this again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely.
About that time for me to, get into
yes, sir.
Recalibrate. But yeah, let's do this again, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm down for it.
All right, bet.
Big bet. All right.
All right, have a good night, bro.
All right, you do the same. All right.
Peace.